We're still quite a long way off of this fight. A fight that's billed on the 27th of November, so over 2 months away. It's being billed specifically by Frank Warren as a 50-50 class. Very hard to choose a winner in this fight. That's actually analysis I must say I disagree with quite strongly on this one. I'm pretty big on Tyson Fury for this fight. It's a fight I'm extremely confident with Fury winning. There's several reasons why. The main form line that I'm looking at is actually the first fight, which took place in July 2011 when Fury was a mere 22 years old. Now, Tyson Fury won that fight conclusively. This isn't a rematch like Froch Groves, where there was some debate as to what actually happened in the first fight, who deserved to win. This is a fight that Fury won convincingly. The judges gave it to him 2 by 5 rounds and 1 by 7 rounds. And must remember, this is when Fury was 22 years old. Now at the time, both were unbeaten. Fury was coming into the fight without top level of experience. The best names on his record, the likes of John McDermott, Nascimento. We're not talking world beaters here. Fury was taking a really big step up and fighting a real talented, undefeated boxer in Dereck Chisora, aged 22. I make a big thing about the fact Fury was 22 because of the kind of fighter he is. We must remember, he's a 6'9", 6'10" bloke. He's the kind of guy who's going to peak later. He's the kind of guy who'd still be growing into himself at 22 and developing his style. And I think the fact that he was able to score such a convincing victory at such a young age is really, really telling. So it's something that I refer to quite a lot, is the fact that Fury was 22. I think with Fury's size and with the experience he's gained since, it's realistic to suggest he'll have only improved. When you're as big as Tyson Fury, the age gap between 22 and 26 as he now is substantial. There's a lot of growing up that's been done physically, and I think it's reasonable to expect he would improve just because of the age. However, it's not a simple thing of being slightly older that makes you think Fury will be improved coming into this fight. He's also been in with a decent level of opposition since that fight. A few names just to pick out: Martin Rogan, Kevin Johnson, Steve Cunningham, Vinny Madelone, Joey Abel. I know we're not talking world beaters here, but Steve Cunningham, Kevin Johnson, they're operators at a decent level, so we say. Steve Cunningham recently beat Amir Mansour in the heavyweight division. That suggests he's still a competitive threat. He's been in 12-round fights. Obviously, he went 12 against Chisora. He went 12 against Kevin Johnson. So he's got that experience under his belt. He's also, knocked out quite a few guys since then. And I think Fury will have come on from his first fight, both physically because he'll have grown up a bit, and also because of the experience he's gained since then. Dereck Chisora, on the other hand, has been in with a higher level of opposition since that fight. He's fought David Haye. He's fought Vitaly Klitschko. He's fought Robert Helenius. He's fought Malik Scott. The problem is, the majority of those names Chisora has lost against. And whilst Fury has shown time and time again he'll find a way to win, Chisora has stepped up since his fight to Tyson Fury, and time again put doubt into people's mind as to whether he's a genuine world-level fighter. It seems to me that every time he steps up his level of opposition to world level, to top 10 rank, Chisora loses. And I think he's going to lose again, because Tyson Fury is a genuine top 10 rank heavyweight these days. He's a top class fighter, and I think he operates above the level that Dereck Chisora does. A lot was made in the first fight about Chisora's weight. There's some discussion as to whether it was tactical or whether it was a lack of discipline. If it was a lack of discipline, that's one thing. I wonder whether Chisora came into that fight, which was probably the biggest fight of Chisora's career at the time, intentionally heavier, because he knew he was up against a much taller, bigger opponent and he didn't want to be pushed around and bossed around the ring. So a lot was made of Chisora's weight and the fact he'll be coming in better shape this time, and whether he can make a difference as a result of that. Now, I agree, Chisora has looked better in his recent fights. He has. But it is against a lower level of opposition. He did look decent against Kevin Johnson. He did look decent against Edmund Gerber. And he's obviously, boxing's all about levels. He's obviously a level above these guys. But whilst I respect Dereck Chisora as a level above Kevin Johnson, a level above Edmund Gerber, he's also a level below David Haye, a level below Helenius, a level below Klitschko. And it's yet to be proven whether Tyson Fury is a level below those guys. So I think Fury's got more potential. I think he's got potential to be a world level fighter, whereas Chisora doesn't. I think Fury's going to have come on a lot since the first fight, whereas I think Chisora hasn't proved that he's improved since the first fight. This lighter, nimbler Chisora, I like the way he throws to the body. I like the way he seems to have more energy and more output. But he still doesn't strike me as a great one-punch knockout artist. He doesn't strike me as a heavyweight who's a devastating puncher that carries a lot of power. I mean, Hector Avila took him 9 rounds last year. I was at that fight. Whereas Anthony Joshua dispatched him in a round or 2. Malik Scott took him 6 rounds, and that was a very, very dodgy stoppage, as we know. Whereas Deontay Wilder stopped Malik inside a round. What I'm saying is there are lines of form that suggest Chisora still isn't a devastating puncher, and that seems to be the way to beat Fury. With Fury's size, with his movement, it's unlikely Chisora's going to out-jab him. The way to beat Fury is to knock him out. There's been suggestions he's got a bad chin. I personally think he's got a decent chin because of the way he's got back up when he's been knocked down. But there's been suggestions that Fury's got a bad chin. He's certainly been knocked down by lower level fighters and guys like Cunningham who aren't massive punchers. But I don't think Chisora's going to have enough to put Fury away, and I think Fury will win again by a wide points margin. There is some suggestion as well that since getting knocked out by David Haye, since losing a lot of weight, Chisora's punch resistance has gone down. He's been wobbled by Gerber, by Andre Parla. Because of that, I don't rule out a Fury stoppage. But like Chisora, I don't see Fury as a massive one-punch knockout specialist by heavyweight standards. Certainly if we compare him to a Klitschko, a Wilder, a Stavern, a Haye, I don't see Fury as a puncher at their level. I think because of that, Chisora will probably have the chin to survive the 12 rounds. So whilst I don't rule out a Fury stoppage, I think realistically Fury points is quite a confident suggestion. I think Fury's only going to have improved for the first fight. And I think Fury's got the potential to go on to be a real top-class operator and a world champion. His movement is spectacular for a big guy. His inside game is spectacular for a big guy. His hand speed and his combination punching is above average. He's got adequate power. He's got a good jab. He's never been stopped. He's never lost. I really think Fury has got potential to be the king of the castle in the heavyweight division. And I think people forget about Tyson Fury, probably because of his appearance, how young he is, how young he still is, and how young he was when he schooled Chisora first time round. So I'm confident Tyson Fury's going to win this fight. Points is the most likely, and I'd be very, very surprised if Chisora wins. I think Chisora, decent fighter at European level. Above that, I don't view him as a world level fighter. I think that's what Tyson Fury is. I'm keen to hear people's thoughts. How do you think this fight's going to go? I'll do a more in-depth video before the fight.